Ladies and gentlemen, the inaugural lecture of Tzu Leung Professorship in Urology by Professor Chi Anthony will now commence. Please rise for the official procession. Please be seated. Please welcome Professor Rocky Tuan, the Vice Chancellor and the President of the Chinese University of Hong Kong, to deliver a vote of thanks to the Dr. Tzu Leung Charitable Foundation. Professor Tuan, please.
Dr. Tzu Leung, Mrs. Stella Ho, Professor Chi, Professor Philip Chu, colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all. I warmly welcome all of you who are gathered here today to celebrate this very important day on which Professor Chi Anthony from the Department of Surgery of CUHK's Faculty of Medicine will deliver his inaugural lecture as Tzu Leung Professor in Urology. This auspicious occasion would not have been possible without a great friend and staunch supporter of CUHK, Dr. Tzu Leung, after whom this prestigious endowed professorship is named. On behalf of the university, I would like to propose a vote of thanks to Dr. Ho for his generosity and consistent interest in the development of CUHK as a civic institution dedicated to quality education, research, and innovation that enhance the well-being of humanity. CUHK is proud to build a close connection with Dr. Ho and his family, who have always been enthusiastic about social welfare matters in Hong Kong and beyond. As director of the S.H. Ho Foundation Limited, a charitable entity founded by his late father, Dr. Ho Sin Hung, Dr. Tzu Leung works tirelessly in support of the development of education, medicine, science, infrastructure, and social services. CUHK is really thankful that the goodwill of his family extends to different areas of institutional advancement, including the founding, construction, and continuous development of the S.H. Ho College, as well as the establishment of numerous scholarships and endowment funds. I have more than often run into students who reside in CUHK College, and they would always tell me how wonderful the experience is, particularly for exchange students. Now, as you know, exchange students go everywhere. So I won't, well, they go to all 9 colleges. But I always run to CUHK students, and they will tell me, wow, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I keep all that inside here. But today I want to share with Dr. Ho. CUHK College is highly regarded. I won't say where it ranks, but highly regarded by students. So I think we have you to thank particularly for your dedication to the CUHK College. Now, also, there is the establishment of numerous scholarships and endowment funds. As a distinguished urologist himself, Dr. Ho leverages his professional knowledge of medicine to identify areas of need and improvement in medical services and where more financial resources are needed and can be put into good use in the various sectors. The Faculty of Medicine of CUHK and the CUHK Medical Center are grateful for the unwavering support of Dr. Ho for a number of initiatives, including the establishment of research projects, programs, and centers, such as the CUHK Urology Center in the Prince of Wales Hospital, Dr. and Mrs. Tzu Leung Urology Center at the CUHK Medical Center, the CUHK Research Center for Infectious Diseases, just to name a few. There are more. It will take another 5 minutes to probably recite all the different things that the foundation and Dr. Ho have provided to CUHK. Today, as you are here to witness, the Tzu Leung Professorship in Urology is another example of Dr. Ho's dedication to making tangible impacts on improving the lives of all by intensifying research and innovation at CUHK, which is absolutely crucial to enable the university to remain at the forefront of transformative medical research. Thank you very much, Dr. Ho. Now, I am sure you're all looking forward, this is a very important part here, to the inaugural lecture of Professor Ng Anthony as the Tzu Leung Professorship holder in urology. Ji-Fai is a distinguished expert in prostate cancer research. He has worked on and is focusing on the urgent attention needed for better understanding and management of prostate cancer, which is becoming increasingly prevalent among the global population. The last time I checked, there are more than 1.6 million people who will be diagnosed worldwide. It is a very large number. His research team at CUHK is committed to enhancing knowledge and care in the field, hoping to improve diagnostic accuracy, reduce complications in biopsies, and introducing new treatments. Apart from an innovative spirit and the courage to explore untrodden paths, I believe Professor Ng's success lies in his firm belief in the power of small acts in driving meaningful change and improving patients' lives. We are therefore all eager to listen to his inspiring story of commitment to urology care in Hong Kong and beyond in his lecture titled Embracing the Power of Small Acts, Advancements in Prostate Cancer Care. So may I take this opportunity to extend my warmest congratulations to Professor Ng Ji-Fai on receiving this well-deserved honor, and then again thank Dr. Ho for supporting CUHK's medical education, research, and innovation endeavors continuously. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a most enjoyable and meaningful time. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tuan. I now invite Professor Tuan, accompanied by Professor Philip Chiu, Dean of Medicine, and Professor Anthony Ng, to present a certificate of appreciation to the representatives from the Tzu Leung Ho Charitable Foundation. Dr. Ho and Mrs. Ho, please. Thank you all, and please remain on stage. The Faculty of Medicine would like to express its appreciation to Dr. Ho and the Foundation for the generous support in establishing the named professorship. I would invite Professor Philip Chiu, accompanied by Professor Anthony Ng, Professor Timothy Kwok, and Professor Ronald Ma, to present souvenirs to Dr. Ho and Mrs. Ho. Thank you all. Please be seated. Professor Philip Chiu, Dean of Medicine, would like to introduce Professor Anthony Ng. Professor Chiu, please.
Dr. Tzu Leung Ho, Mrs. Stella Ho, Vice Chancellor Professor Rocky Tuan, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On behalf of the Faculty of Medicine, I'd like to express our heartfelt congratulations to Professor Ng, and of course our gratitude to Dr. and Mrs. Ho and his family for supporting the establishment of the Tzu Leung Ho Professorship in Urology. This esteemed professorship honors excellence in advancing knowledge and treatment to improve the lives of patients with urological conditions. And I can see that today we are filled with a really, really big crowd, not only men, but also lady. I trust that they are also worrying about the husband or the other half's healthiness in the prostate. So that's why we have to listen to Professor Chi-Fai Ng's lecture. It is my great pleasure to introduce Professor Chi-Fai Ng, our distinguished Tzu Leung Ho Professor in Urology. Chi-Fai and I actually know each other for over 30 years because we are just one class, difference. He's graduated in 1993, I graduated in 1994. So we are actually group friends since our medical students' life in the same university, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. We later joined the same department Department of Surgery at the Prince of Wales Hospital, and subsequently Chinese University of Hong Kong at the same time too, where we continue to work together since then. So some of the hours we are actually sharing on night on call duties, and then we also in the same team, so we work very close together. Chi-Fai's remarkable journey begins in a working class family. As the eldest child, he credits his parents for instilling the value of education. His academic excellence in the Hong Kong certificate examination, which already was in the past, is a history, led him to our university for medical studies. After graduation, he underwent surgical training at the Prince of Wales Hospital, and he developed a passion for urology. Well, he claimed that I said a small subspecialty at that time. Driven by the rapid advancements in minimal invasive surgery, Chi Fai spent a year in Scotland under the guidance of Mr. David Tolley. There, he gained extensive expertise in endolaparoscopic surgery and stone management. The peaceful environment in Scotland, as claimed by Chi Fai also, inspired him to pursue an academic journey that would profoundly shape his career. Upon returning to Hong Kong in 2006, Chi Fai joined the Chinese University of Hong Kong as academic staff. Recognizing the lack of knowledge surrounded the prostate, a crucial gland that significantly impacts the quality of life of senior men, along with the rising incidence of prostate cancer in Hong Kong and Asia, he decided to focus his research on this disease, which is really, really timely and important because in the past, probably because of the low incidence of men being able to survive above 70, the incidence of prostate cancer was not that so much at that time. But I think Chi Fai has this really great vision. His work has encompassed its epidemiology, diagnostic, advancement, and management of prostate cancer. Chi Fai's research contribution extended beyond prostate cancer, including studies to enhance treatment of outcome of renal stones. Nevertheless, his most significant achievement is his pioneering work in robotic surgery for urological diseases in Hong Kong. He is the first surgeon to perform Da Vinci SP urological surgery in Asia and to introduce the Hugo robotic system to Greater China. As the director of the CUHK Hong Kong Jockey Club Minimal Invasive Surgical Skills Center, he has trained numerous surgeons in robotic surgery, greatly improved surgical outcomes, and reduced complications associated with prostatectomy. His extensive collaboration with international, regional, and local scientists and clinicians further highlight his influence in the field. He's deeply committed to education and teaching, believing its power to positively impact more lives by passing on his skills and dedication to the younger generation. I trust that is evidenced by the whole urology team that he built in Hong Kong in the NTEC cluster that actually influenced the whole Hong Kong. His network of education and training extensively, not only in Hong Kong, but in Asia-Pacific region. He's very well renowned as an educator. He has been awarded the Best Teacher Award of the Faculty of Medicine of CUHK. Furthermore, he's actively served as a council member and vice president of the College of Surgeons of Hong Kong, where he plays a vital role in planning urological training in Hong Kong. Since 2023, he has become the chairman of the Urology Board of the College of Surgeons of Hong Kong. He has also spearheaded the establishment of the Asia Urological Surgery Training and Education Group, USTEC, leading a team of Asian urologists in training young urologists across Asia. Chi Fai also dedicated himself in serving the community. He has been the co-director of the Youth Urological Treatment Center at the Prince of Wales Hospital since 2010, contributing to a multidisciplinary approach in helping young substance abusers with urological problems, addressing both their physical and psychosocial needs. He has also been a member of the Action Committee Against Narcotics since 2019, providing advice and support in fighting against drug abuse in Hong Kong. His effort reflected his unwavering commitment to improve the life of young people and tackling the detrimental effects of substance abuse. The Tzu Leung Professorship in Urology is a distinguished recognition bestowed upon Chi Fai's outstanding achievements and contributions. I look forward to learning more from Chi Fai, as always, about his insight in the latest strategy in diagnosis, intervention, and treatment for urological conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Chi Fai to the stage.
Thank you, Professor Chiu. I now invite you and Professor Tuan to take your seats in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Anthony Ng.
Thank you, Professor Chu, for your kind introduction. And dear Professor Rocky Tuan, Dr. and Mrs. Ho, say cancer management, and hoping that this will increase the disease awareness in Hong Kong. But before that, maybe I start from into sharing the story how the little guy myself and how we met with the small gland prostate in my life. I was born in a working class family and was grew up in this public estate, the Healthy Village. And this was the earliest photo that I could find of myself, and it may be hinting that I have a lifelong journey with water, if not urine. My parents chose this primary school for me, not for academic reasons, just because it's opposite to my home. I can reach this school by 5 minutes. And I think that the most important thing I learned from this school is that there's a God in the world. After my primary school, I eventually entered another Methodist secondary school near my home, is the Wesley College. While my school was small, it was full of fun and love. And I have made a lot of good friends, which some of them are also here, and including one of them is the director, John. And that's why it explains why my name was used by Mr. Chow during his movie. And thanks for my secondary school teacher's teaching, I got a reasonable result in my certificate examination, and therefore I was admitted to the CUHK medicine. And I never knew that the step I stepped into CUHK in 1987 started our link with the CUHK till today. My medical school time was full of fun and memory. And my first surgical rotation was in Princess Margaret's Hospital surgery under Dr. Andrew Chen, one of the most experienced urologists in Hong Kong. And I have my first surgical assistant worked in my medical year 3 time with Dr. Yao Ming Gong for a circumcision. Since then, I was quite attracted by surgery, and I have determined myself to be a surgeon. And I always told Dr. Chen that he was my first surgical teacher and urological mentor. After graduation, thanks for Professor Lee's kindness, I had the chance to join in his great department till today. My first rotation was in the urology ward, and this started my lifelong journey with the small specialty, urology. How small is urology? If you know about the burn mat, the burn chart, you understand that the urology only contributes to 1% of the body surface. Therefore, it is really a very small subject. Maybe a small team suit myself. Therefore, I really enjoy my time in urology team and have determined to be a urologist. And therefore, just after I reported to my wife that I had passed my FRCA examination, I immediately locked the door of my mentor, Mr. Peter Chen, and asked if he could take me as a trainee, and he immediately said yes to me. The opening of his door is not just for a post. I think it is the opening of a major chapter in my life. And at that moment, I think I would never imagine that one day I'm the one sitting in this room and saying yes to many young talents that are interested in urology. I returned to the urology team on the first day of July 1997, and the same day that Hong Kong returned to China. My training was full of fun, and I enjoyed my training time. And after I have completed my urology training, I then decided to further my subspecialty in minimally invasive surgery, and then have a 1-year training in Edinburgh under Mr. David Tolley. That year was really eye-opening to me, and I had a lot of chance to attend many meetings and presenting there, and also learn a lot of cutting-edge technology. In particular, I learned a lot about prostate cancer, which was more common in UK compared to Hong Kong, and I observed a lot of laparoscopic prostatectomy and how to perform a brachytherapy, and also learned about some of the information about robotic surgery. And after I returned to Hong Kong, I got the chance to catch the wave of prostate cancer in Hong Kong. At that year's prostate cancer started to rising to around 1,000 cases per year. And also, our university had introducing robotic surgery into Hong Kong in year 2005. And together with the support from some enthusiastic colleagues like Dr. Frankie Chen, I started focusing my work on prostate cancer and pursuing an academic life. So, where's the prostate gland? Don't put your hand on the leg. This is just a thyroid gland. And in fact, the prostate is an organ just only happen in male, and is the part that you are sitting on during when you are cycling. So when I was a medical student, this was a textbook, the lecture notes of general surgery that I was using. I mean, actually, prostate cancer was a very small topic, just covering 2 pages. And at that time, the diagnosis was still based on acid phosphatase, and the treatment is mainly by estrogen. When I was graduate, the incidence of prostate cancer is still quite low in Hong Kong. Therefore, there's minimal information in the literature about what's the situation of prostate cancer, and in particular related to Chinese or Hong Kong. And over the years, our teams and many other researchers have tried to fill in the gap about the understanding of the prostate cancer in Chinese and in Hong Kong. And now we have a much better understanding about the disease. Our work has been well recognized, and our team has been awarded at the Merit Team by the Hong Kong Hospital Authority in 2019. And also myself got the honor to be awarded at the Outstanding Young Urology when I was still young in 2010, and also other prizes. So when I'm looking back, what are the key things that I learned over the year about prostate cancer? So while many patients or many people think that prostate cancer is a slow-going disease, actually it can kill and hurt. Now, prostate cancer is the first most common cancer in male, and also around 1/5 to 1/6 of patients will eventually die of prostate cancer. From our information, comparing those prostate cancer diagnosed by body check or case finding to those patients that present with symptoms, actually, when they present with symptoms, half of them already have metastatic disease, and the 5-year survival was just around 75%. So 1/4 of them will die of disease with just around 3 years' time. Not just they will die earlier. In fact, the journey during the whole disease journey when they have metastatic disease was quite poor. Many of them will suffer from various complications like bone pain, fracture, difficulty avoiding, and also anemia and other complications. Therefore, early diagnosis of the prostate cancer is most important to preventing having metastatic disease, which they will having all the suffering and complication. But unfortunately, the current detection method for prostate cancer was suboptimal. In our research, we have found that there's a lot of difference between prostate cancer in Asian and also in the Caucasian. And all the presentation, the genetic thing are quite different. Therefore, currently, we are working with Dr. S. Below and the Genome Institute to try to find out more information about the difference between the Chinese and the Caucasian. For example, for the serum PSA, which is a very good marker to be used for the early detection of prostate cancer in the Caucasian, will actually have less than ideal performance in the Chinese. In fact, quite a lot of patients with elevated PSA, they are not having cancer, but they lead to subject to biopsy in the past. Therefore, 10 years ago, we have introducing the use of prostate health index in Hong Kong, which could effectively decrease half of the patients to receiving prostate biopsy, which is one of the painless procedures I think a man can have to receive. And based on our data, the test has been supported to be adopted in hospital authority. And now this test can be available in all the male patients who have the elevated PSA. Then by using this test, they can see that whether they are really having high risk of having prostate cancer, and then to consider whether they really need a biopsy. We also help to promote the test to other parts of Asia, and now more patients in Asia could be benefiting from the test and can be avoiding having a prostate biopsy. With the excellent collaboration with Professor Gary Wong and his team, we have also introducing the use of urine spermine test to test for prostate cancer. Hopefully, this will be a less invasive test for the detection of prostate cancer, and the test is now available in Hong Kong, and further validation was carried out in Japan, Malaysia, and also in the US. For those patients diagnosed with early prostate cancer, prostatectomy is one of the treatment options to providing a cure for the patient. And starting in November 2005, by the support of the Hong Kong Jockey Club and the Kai Chung Tong Foundation, our university had installed the first robotic system in Hong Kong. And the ceremony was just carrying out in the same hall here. And I have the luck to be involved from the first case till today. From the early result, we have already observed that robotic surgery had a significant better outcome compared to open surgery. And now, currently, robotic prostatectomy is becoming a new standard in Hong Kong public hospital, with almost all the patients in Hong Kong now is having the surgery performed by the robotic system, and with an excellent clinical outcome. Over the years, I have tried to using different type of robotic system, and we are the first team in Asia to using the single port system in performing a prostatectomy. And the whole procedure could be just performed within a 3 to 4 centimeter incision, which will be having a much more less invasive to the patient. And also last year, we're also introducing a new modular robotic system in the Greater China region. This system could providing a more expanded utilization and also application of robot in our patient. And currently, we are also working with Dean Chu and his engineer colleague in validating a locally developed robotic system. And hopefully, this will further help to popularizing robotic surgery in Hong Kong and in the region and benefiting more patients. While surgery on radiotherapy are effective in treating the cancer, they might still leading to some complications such as urinary incontinence, blood in the urine, and also rectal bleeding. Fortunately, there was many new technology developed in the management of prostate cancer to improving the patient care. With the improvement in imaging by MRI, we can now see the prostate cancer more accurately. And this not only can improving the diagnosis, we can perform a target biopsy to the area that we are suspecting to have cancer. We can actually targeting the treatment to this particular region to cure the disease. Just before the COVID, our team was quite lucky that we can go to UK together to learn the focal therapy there and then bring the technology back to Hong Kong. And over the years, we have been introducing the use of different energy platforms to either to burn the cancer or to free the small cancer that can providing a cure to the patient. This not only helping the patient to avoiding having a major surgery or radiotherapy, but also help them to preserving the functional outcome like continence function, sexual function. However, at the end, early detection of prostate cancer is still the most important fact in order to allow the patient to using this therapy. Unfortunately, still many patients are presented quite late with metastatic disease and they need to be put on hormonal therapy. However, hormonal therapy are not having complications. A lot of patients, after they start on hormonal therapy, we have a lot of complications happen. And over the years, our team has tried to understand more about the complications related to the hormonal therapy, and we are also working with different Asian collaborators on this. We found that after hormonal therapy, patients actually can have more myocardial infarction, metabolic disease, and also decreasing quality of life. Based on our finding, we're also moving forward to develop some local and international consensus guidelines to raise the awareness about this complication and advising physicians how to manage this patient during treatment. Therefore, when we design the treatment for our patient, we must balancing the pros and cons of the treatment to fit in the situation of each patient. So after all, I think there are two insights I learned from the journey during my understanding of prostate cancer. Don't look down on simple and small good acts, and also always need to balance the pros and cons in every decision carefully. Prostate is a small gland compared to the other organ, so our work might be small compared to the others. However, all the small step-by-step improvement in prostate cancer management, from the better screening procedure, better biopsy approach, improving the surgical treatment, and also introducing new focal therapy, all these small steps help to improving the overall care of our patient. And no matter how small they may seem, and all of this have a positive impact to our patient and their family. Also, when we're planning our treatment for our patient, the options are getting more and more nowadays with surgery, focal therapy, radiotherapy, or even different new medication. And when we design treatment for our patient, we always need to balance all the factors, including the efficacy, safety, what is the effect of the drug or treatment on the quality of life, and also cost. I think we need to balancing all these factors in order to design the best choice for our patient. And I think these two concepts, doing good work and keeping balanced view, is very important, and this also in line with what Dr. Ho and his family taught us. Thanks for the general support from Dr. Ho and the SHO Foundation, we have established the SHO Urology Center in 2013 to supporting the research and teaching of urology in Hong Kong. And just in last year, we have celebrating our 10th anniversary. And today, Dr. Ho even entrusted me to using his name in my title. I truly feel honored for this, and I will be obligated to continue his excellent work in urology and education. Besides continue focusing on my research work and clinical work, I will always try my best to launching the next generation of young people in Hong Kong and also in Asia. And this will continue the legends of Dr. Ho in urology and in the community. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank many people who have helped me along my path. I would like to thank Professor Arthur Lee and Professor Joseph Lau for allowing me to join this great department. And I still feel proud about being one of their trainees in this department. I would like to also thank for my two urology mentors, Mr. Peter Chan and Mr. David Tolley, who have given me a lot of guidance and advice in my whole career path. During my move from hospital authority to CUHK, I must thank Professor Fogg, Professor Wen Ha-so, and Professor Paul Lai for their support. And without their support, I think I could not be here today. I would also like to thank my two deans, Professor Francis Chan and Professor Philip Chiu, for their support. In particular, Professor Chan for his support for the establishment of the SHO Urology Center and my professorship. And I also really like to thank Janet for her advice and support in my career path, and I really missed her a lot. Thank all the senior and also my brother and sister in our department to their support in my whole career. All my seniors in urology for their teaching and guidance in my training. And also want to thank all my collaborators for their support and in all my research work. And the whole NTEC urology team, which I'm always proud to be working with all of you together, and I think I'm really proud about being a member of this team. And my most precious research team staff, they are always helping me and supporting all my research work, and Also, besides that, I also want to thank for the hospital administrative side in supporting our team. And I think I would like to thank Dr. Low and Dr. Jones for their trust in our custard team service. All my nursing staff, they are really not only the angels of my team and myself, but also the angels of my patients. In particular, I would like to thank Crystal, Hilda, Agnes, Michelle for their support to my clinical work, and also thank for Helen, Cindy, and Eunice for their helping all those troublesome administrative tasks. And I would like to also particularly thank Grace for her help in this whole event. I'd also like to thank all my industrial partners for their kindness and trust to our team. And I think without their trust, we could not work together to bring many new wonders into Hong Kong. And finally, my patients, who I learn a lot from them, and I always treasure my time and chance with them. Life is never smooth, and I would like to thank those who walk closely with me in my different parts of life. Dr. Tzu Leung, thanks for walking the extra mile with me during my undergrad study. Without your help, I will not be able to stand here. And thanks all my secondary school teachers, and some of them are also here. Your care and love for me have prepared my foundation for my work today. And I still remember, Ms. Yao, you changed my public speech in the first floor corridor. And I hope you give me a pass for my presentation today. My niece is really an angel from God, and she is the only one that can make me put down my computer and put down my professional image. And I need to thank my parents and my siblings for their support. My father taught me, 口賤得人憎，力賤得人敬. And I think this is remain one of the motto in my life. And finally, my wife, Eva. I really feel sorry that not until the time of COVID that I can have the chance to stay with you, live with you for the whole year, after being married for almost 1/4 of a century. And thank you for walking with me and tolerating me over this year. I'm very blessed. I start out with nothing, and by God's grace, I still have a good family, friends, colleagues, and also the chance to do some good work. And I hope I will keep on doing these little things for good and also for God. Finally, a little take-home message. Prostate cancer screening is important. And for all gentlemen, please have your test done. And for all ladies, please bring your man to do this. And I hope you have all got the small wallets from the reception table. And I hope this will be a small reminder to doing the test. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Ho for his trust and support to me, and thank for all your support, love, and care for me over the years. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor M, for your inspiring lecture. Please join the audience for one last group photo. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the inaugural lecture. Please rise for the official procession exits the hall. Thank you for joining us today. You are welcome to enjoy the refreshment on the ground floor. Wish you a good evening ahead.